Hey, today we're going to make a delicious dessert from the Madeira Islands, Portugal. You'll find passion fruit vines growing throughout Madeira Island. Very tropical fruit, delicious smell to it. You'll see it everywhere in Madeira, from Ribeira Brava, Ponta do Sol, Machico, Santa Cruz, also Caleta, and downtown Funchal. They have a huge farmer's market. You'll see just the most amazing array of fruit that's grown on the island. In Madeira, next to the banana, the passion fruit is probably the second most popular fruit on the island. A lot of different desserts use this fruit. Passion fruit is actually thought to have come over from Brazil in the 1600s, and it's named after the Passion of the Christ. Just a beautiful flower on the fruit. The 3 stamens coming out of the passion fruit flower represented the 3 nails on Jesus Christ. So we'll get started. Pretty simple dessert. I'm going to use pineapple Jell-O. I know there's a passion fruit Jell-O, but it's kind of hard to find. It's a beautiful interior there. Into that, it is the most intense flavor. It is just intense. They actually make a soda in Portugal. One of my brother's favorites. Shout out to Briano. There's not a ton of pulp inside of the fruit, but it's a very intense flavor and aroma you get from it. And now you simply just scrape out the pulp. Gee, that smells so good. I'm telling you, it could be a perfume. You either could bring water to a boil in a pot and then pour it over the Jell-O. So I'll put my water in there. This is to dissolve the gelatin. So we have our hot water in here. And you just want to give this maybe like 5 minutes to dissolve. I still can see some granules on the side. So in here is just hot water and the flavored gelatin. Now that the gelatin is fully dissolved, you want to add 4 ounces of cold water, and this helps begin the process of cooling down the gelatin. This is the condensed milk. Put that in there. And gelatin begins to set around 69 degrees Fahrenheit. And this just gives it a nice creamy, sweet texture. Cream's in there. Now we'll put in our maracujá. And I didn't put that in right away when it was hot. You want to preserve some of that fresh fruit flavor. So now I'll dump that in there. Holy moly. That was good. The seeds are edible. Obviously, they're really crunchy. So that is it. How simple is this? I'll stir that up. I'm going to show you 2 ways you could do this. You could use like individual ramekins. And these individual ramekins either can be served exactly like this once it sets, or you could dip them in a hot bath for like 5-10 seconds at the most and flip them over, just like I'm going to unmold this large one and serve it on a plate. Now it just goes straight into the mold. By far the simplest method is to use individual ramekins or cups and serve the dessert in those cups. That way you don't even have to go through the process of unmolding the dessert. Pretty simple. Now into your refrigerator. Probably at least going to take 4 hours up to like 8 hours. Okay, now we're going to make a little sauce to put over the top of the dessert. So I have my 2 maracujás or passion fruit that I'm going to make the sauce with. You don't get much fruit out of those, so I'm kind of extending it with a simple syrup. It's 50% water, 50% sugar, and it doesn't have to be exact ratios as long as you're close. So I have a 1/4 cup of water and a 1/4 cup of sugar. And the only reason you heat up this mixture is to help dissolve the sugar fully, because a lot of times if you mix sugar into cold water, it just doesn't dissolve easily. If you want to try out some more desserts, I have pastéis de nata and also the famous boule de mel that's served around Christmas time on Madeira Island. All right, our simple syrup is at room temperature. I'll just put that, you can put that in any vessel. Again, this adds viscosity to the sauce. It extends the sauce, adds sweetness, obviously, to the sauce. Nice look to it. So I'll put my food in there and just kind of mix that up a bit. Now I have some hot water that's been simmering. You just need to dip. This has been in the refrigerator for about 4 hours. So this is probably like at 180. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Really sharp paring knife just along the edge, so it doesn't want to grab onto that edge as you flip it. Unmold it on a plate. Had to put it in hot water for about another 5 seconds. Just didn't seem like it wanted to come out. And there you go. The seeds float to the top, so that's why you don't see any here. So the seeds are all on the bottom now because we flipped it, but we could decorate that. Just get our sauce mixture and spoon it right over the top. All right, now we're gonna unmold the larger pudding. Since this is a metal tin, it's going to conduct heat much faster, so I'm only gonna dip it in for like 2 seconds. 1/1000, 2/1000. That's all you want to do. When you do unmold the dessert, it will squat down about 25%, so you'll lose about 25% of the height. So if you want your dessert to stand tall, make sure you fill up your mold all the way to the top. Totally tell like it melted a decent amount of the pudding in the pan, so that was just really quick there. I also have a PDF on my website that's all about gelatin. So it's a great resource on justcookwithmichael.com under concepts. And then we get our maracujá simple syrup mixture. So go give maracujá pudding or passion fruit pudding a try. Go cook this dessert for someone you love.